Now, here's where I try my non-existent French. Le jamais content, never satisfied, was the curious name of a record-breaking car built in 1899 and the fastest vehicle of its time. Powered by electric batteries, it easily outclassed its early petrol-driven rivals. Well, never satisfied should be never say die, because a replica of this historic car has been built here in the northeast. It's the creation of David Royle of Staindrop near Darlington, who, with his team of 14 craftsmen, works full-time on restoring old cars. Alan Powell has been to see his latest achievements.
A tour around David Royle's workshops is like opening a potted history of the automobile. Names that have long since passed into motoring legend are here in reality, being restored to a state as good as, or sometimes even better, than the day they left the maker's factory. It takes months, sometimes years of patient work to bring these rare vintage cars back to life for their doting owners, who all have one thing in common: a bank balance that matches their enthusiasm. Sometimes the fascination is not just for the vehicle itself, but for its associations. This BMW Fraser Nash once belonged to Billy Cotton, the band leader. And this delightful little Riley 9 Ritz was built especially for the daughter of Mr. Riley himself. And a brilliant literary career almost came to a premature end in 1935 when this Alvis Silver Eagle crashed. It was the pride and joy of Henry Williamson, author of Tarka the Otter, whose writing proved more skillful than his driving. The current pride of the works is this Phantom II Rolls-Royce. £42,500 is the current asking price. But quite the oddest of all of David Royle's cars is the fastest vehicle in the world back in 1899.
Well, David, it looks like a rocket, but it's difficult to believe that it ever actually set a world record.
Well, it did, or at least the original one did. This is actually a replica of the 1899 car. It was built by Genetzi, the French racing driver, and it was the very first vehicle ever to achieve 100 kilometers per hour.
What's that in English money?
About 65 miles an hour.
So how difficult was it to build this thing? Because you didn't have plans, did you? Just pictures?
No, we had 4 very good photographs, period ones, taken of the original car in 1899. And we had a sketch that had been drawn by I don't know who. So we worked from the sketch, a little sketch, it was about 8 inches long, and these photographs, and we went on from there.
Now, who's going to use this car?
Well, actually, it's built for a gentleman called Mr. Lambert, who lives in Liverpool, who is a very clever electrical engineer. And he's installed the electrical components, including a computer in the back, which, of course, the original car didn't have. It has 12 batteries in the front, which are very similar to an ordinary car battery. And they hopefully will propel it up to 70 or 80 miles an hour, because we're going to try and see if we can't beat the speed that the original one did.
Do you think it'll succeed?
Yeah, I think it's got a very good chance. It's surprisingly powerful, although the true tests haven't yet been carried out. They should be carried out very soon.
It looks very difficult to handle. I mean, it's a strange steering wheel.
Yes, you don't have steering wheels. You've got this leverage arrangement, which controls the front wheels through very primitive springs and so forth, and links. And this is the big handbrake, which is a pretty big sort of nasty affair. But that's the way it was built, so we've just copied it.
And I believe that since you started building this, you've actually found the original does exist.
Yes, we have, surprisingly enough. The car we thought had been long lost many, many years ago. But during the building, we heard that, in fact, it still does survive in one of the French museums. So I don't know what they're going to think about it.
Well, that'll sort the rush hour traffic out. Every day we're...